Alright, what's happening everybody? It's your boy Keen again for today's third blog. I got another bowl game for you to watch. The Music City Bowl game between ACC, Wake Forest, and SEC, Mississippi State. Both teams are 6-6. Mississippi State has a good defense, while Wake Forest has a pretty good offense led by quarterback Tanner Price. Sticking with Price, he had over 2,800 yards passing, 6 interceptions with 20 touchdowns. His leading receiver, Chris Givens, had over 1,200 yards receiving and 7 scores. He had a great season. Both of these two players had a good combination, record-setting year for both players, and I think they're going to do well in this matchup. Now, for Mississippi State, they have an outstanding defense who is ranked 18th in the nation in points allowed with just 19 points per game, and they're actually anchored by two tackles, defensive tackles, Fletcher Cox and Josh Boyd. Both these two players can wreak havoc in that line of scrimmage, especially Cox, who had 7.5 tackles for loss this season. Now, going for the tail of the tape of this game, the key for this matchup for Mississippi State, they really need to get their passing game going. Chris Ralph, the quarterback for the Bulldogs, he has been struggling this season, and he has underachieved compared to last season. He had just barely over 1,000 yards passing this year and had 11 total touchdowns this season. That is terrible compared to last year, where he had over 15 total touchdowns, and I think he had a better year as a junior than he had as a senior, and this is pretty much going downhill for him. Yes, he has been dealing with injuries this year and a couple of problems struggling passing the football, but still, he should have did a lot better his senior year, especially having good high expectations for the Mississippi Bulldogs this year. I actually had him as my dark horse of the SEC Conference. Now, going back to Tanner Prince and Wake Forest, the key for their game, they really need to get their running game together, and they really need good help from Brandon Pendergrass, their leading rusher. He has over 750 yards rushing this season, and he really needs to step up this game. Also, for Wake Forest's defense, they basically need to stop Vic Ballard of the Bulldogs. He has quietly rushed for over 1,000 yards this season, 1,009 yards to be exact, and 8 rushing touchdowns this year, and I think Ballard is the key of that offense for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. I think their defense is going to keep them in the game, but they really need to get a good passing game with Chris Welch and company, and they really need to help that passing game in order to set the run up for Vic Ballard. If Vic Ballard is stopped in this game, Wake Forest will win this matchup. Now, for this game, I'm going to have to go with Wake Forest because I believe they have too many difference makers on both sides of the field. I already mentioned Pendergrass, Chris Givens, and Tanner Price for the offensive side. On defense, they have a great freshman cornerback and Morel Noel, who has leading the nation with 20 pass breakups this season. And I think he's gonna pretty much help shut down that passing game for Chris Ruff and that passing offense of Mississippi State. So I'm going to have to go with the Wake Forest Demon Deacons over the Mississippi State Bulldogs in this season's Music City Bowl matchup, and I think you should still watch this game to see what happens in this matchup. Now, I'm going to catch you guys for one last blog, the Insight Bowl between Oklahoma and Iowa. Thank you for watching this blog from Pro Football Exclusive. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.